You're listening to The Fellas with Anthony McCoy,
Listen, man, that wasn't my fault. It was an unknown error.
Rich Thurston,
Someone said it was like the Bulls never changed their passwords, and Tibbs just popped in and did an auto trade.
Kev Lund,
You could tell he was a Mets fan because he was just like, yep, real quiet. Didn't want to say much about the Yanks. 99 problems, but a pitch ain't one.
and Kyle Straub.
When one of those point guards is James Harden, yes, the answer is yes, they are a better team.
Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, and thanks for joining us. We are The Fellas, and we hope that you are having a good day. Stayed away from the eclipse, enjoyed it, but didn't look directly at it. Going to get into some Game of Thrones, the Night King pulling probably the baddest move of all of the series so far. Lakers tampering.
Cheating.
Rich, your boys cheating. We'll get into that
You
in a
cheating,
little
you
bit.
ain't trying.
That's right. We're also going to give you guys another kind of reminiscent poll that we had up on Twitter. We're going to pick our two favorite games that we would love to attend all time. Doesn't matter what sport, when it was. We're going to give that to you too. But we're going to start off the top of the show with the NCAA Top 25 released today. No surprise whatsoever that Alabama number 1,
Trojans.
Ohio State 2, Florida State 3, USC 4, and Clemson rounding out the top 5. Trojans back in the top 5. They haven't been there for a while, but everybody else, guys, it seems like it's the same top 5 year in and year out when they have the preseason poll that comes out. You kind of agree with that?
Bama's always going to be there, man.
Yeah, it's been the same team since 2007?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we've had literally Alabama, Ohio State, and Clemson in every single playoff for the last 3 or 4 years that they've been doing that. So you think that they may get it right, but at the same time, you always see these top 25s put out, and at least one or two of those teams that are in the top 5 or top 10 end up not even being on the list towards the end of the year. I know that Rich and McCoy aren't big NCAA football fans, but what would you like to see from this season? I know growing up, Rich, especially you like the Gator Chomp.
Come on,
Boy, Tim
Gators.
Tebow down there, so.
Oh, yeah, the Gators are my squad. No, right? Them and the University of Miami, which is something for all of us that we'll ride for
Absolutely,
until the day we die.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
they're
outside
back
of-
in the top 25 too.
Are they?
Came in, yeah, they're at number 18.
See, I care more about that. I want to watch them climb more than I want to see Florida do anything. So
And actually, as I'm looking at it, Florida's 17 and Miami is 18. So those two rivals sitting there 1 and 2 in that ranking, or back to back at least. But I'm with you as far as I'd like to see the U just because of the swagger.
yeah, but they have
you
to play like the U.
Oh, and I think they will. Like Mark Richt getting hired there was from that era. He knows what's up. He's going to bring that back.
I don't know anything about him. I think I know
He was
he's
the
like
QB
a
there,
Christian
right?
guy, right? Like he loves Jesus.
Yes, yeah. He was on those teams that they did the.
So who
30
is he
for
backing
30s
up?
for. He just didn't really play a lot. I don't
Jim
know off the
Kelly?
top of my head, I don't know exactly what
My
years
boy?
he played.
It was probably like Jim Kelly.
Yeah, somebody wave. Yeah, your boy. What I think is real interesting about down there in Florida, though, you have Florida State 3, then you have 17 Florida, 18 Miami, and then you have right behind them another Florida school is new. South
Charlie
Florida's
Strong.
ranked 19. Is that where? Who went there? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I think you're going to see him a lot more relaxed coaching down there than the big gig he was forced that he went into at Texas.
Oh yeah, he was under so much pressure at Texas, and they gave him zero time to do anything about a program that was in complete shambles when he got in there. I don't know why they thought he was going to go in and in one
Well,
year
from
they
what
were
I
gonna
heard
be
about
back to
Texas
national,
too is they got, I
national
guess they
title
got really
races.
good recruits, so everybody's expecting them to have a solid year this year. So yeah, he's right.
Yeah,
he's
they,
not
they
going to
just
get
didn't
any
give
of the
him a
credit
chance
either
to
if
coach
his
his
recruiting
kids.
classes
He was
are
there for
good.
2 seasons.
Can I talk? I gotta say something about these recruiting classes. Every year I hear teams get like ridiculously good recruiting classes. Like Miami's gotten like a great one for the last 10 years, and they're still not Miami. So like these recruiting classes, you have to give them like 3 years to pan out at least, right?
Oh, absolutely. And in this day and age, you only get the very rare, the very special that come in and play right away and are an impact player their freshman and even sophomore years. I mean, we were talking about Mitch Trubisky. Just because he went to school here, I know how it happened. He was a top 5 quarterback nationally. Only got one season out on the field because you need to develop and you sit and it's just
Yeah, you
how
got to
it
try
works
to
in
go
this,
to the right situation if you want to play right away, because you're not going to start over the dude that's been there 3 years and is a
Yeah.
senior now, ready to be the man and take over for the last guy that just left. So that's part of the game. You either got to go to a crappy school or you go to the powerhouses and sit a few.
And that's kind of like what every NFL team is looking for when you get drafted, man. Is someone that's been there for 3 to 4 years and has all this experience. I mean, this game has evolved so much that you can't just go and play 1 year unless, like you guys said, like you're just a Heisman guy or like the best guy at your position.
The
It's just-
Heisman guys
it
are
ain't
trash
gonna happen
anyway.
in
Like, who's the
football.
last quarterback to win the Heisman
Yeah.
that's any good in the NFL?
Who's the last person to win
Yeah.
the Heisman at any
Yeah.
position that's good in the NFL?
Carson
a
Palmer
good-ass
won as a
question.
quarterback, right? Like, he's solid. He's good. I don't know, but he's a
Yeah,
Trojan.
but when was he in college though?
Yeah.
Like early 2000s?
Yeah, like
Yeah, like we're
2002,
talking
2003.
17 years ago.
Yeah, so did you?
Marcus Mariota won it.
But I wouldn't say he's good.
Yeah,
Like,
Jameis,
your boy
baby.
he
Jameis.
may
Going
prove
to
to be.
leading
but
the
he
Bucks
is-
to the
Jameis.
promised land this year.
I don't know why you're pumped.
Yeah, Cam
Cam
Newton.
It's
There
not
we
your
go.
team.
Cam Newton. Yeah, Cam probably.
Yeah, yep. Okay, so not too far.
Oh, I
off the
totally
path.
forgot.
Well, it's
my boy
nice that in the
Johnny
recent
Manziel won
years
it.
here, at least we've had a few, those couple names. Like, we have a couple promising players that won it, because for a while, the Heisman was, you win the Heisman,
Robert
you
Griffin
always
III
sucked in
won
the
it.
NFL, so it's good that. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you-
yeah.
like your boy Troy Smith.
Ooh. Yo, I looked it up on Wikipedia and it says Reggie Bush vacated. Nah, man, he won that.
Yeah, he did.
He used to whoop
You're like,
people's
get outta
ass. In
Because he
college.
got a house for his mom. You're gonna
Right.
tell him he can't have that?
Yeah.
Shut up.
All those touchdowns happen.
I literally watched that dude
Right.
stand on his head and score a touchdown.
All that happened.
So with the rankings release, it does pose an interesting matchup because to start the season off, you always have that one big marquee matchup of the two power conferences that get together. This year, it's number 1 Alabama, number 3 Florida State to open up the season. Is it a game you guys are intrigued by, something you'll watch, or you're indifferent? I'm excited to see it. I can't wait.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'll
I'm always
watch it.
I'm always in on a meaningful football game. I mean, you can't lose in college. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and that's why I like starting the season off like this right away because you're not playing the powder cake teams that nobody cares about, and you're going to win 65-3. You do that for 3 weeks, and
Alabama-
then you get into the season.
Alabama can lose
Go
this
right
game
into the
and
season.
they
I
run the
can't
table
stand
and still
that,
make
man.
the playoff, though. Yeah, they can.
But they both can, can't they?
Yeah, I think they both could with the way it's set up now, but
Nah.
with, like Kev said, though, if you go undefeated, you know you're in the playoffs. If you lose a game, it's a question mark. You're kind of leaving your
Well,
your
I was just
fate
going to say,
in the
there's teams
judge's
that did go
hands.
You know
undefeated
what,
the last
though?
couple
Oh, you go
seasons
with
that didn't make the playoff. Not like powerhouses like Alabama, but I think like
That's a good point.
the Big 12 teams. It was Baylor and Oklahoma State. No, not Oklahoma State. It was Baylor and somebody, right? They both, yeah, because
TCU, but they
Did
both
they?
had one. I think they both had one loss though.
right.
yeah, their strength of
You're- 'cause
schedule.
you're talking about-
their strength of schedule ain't what these.
Conference
Yeah,
title
and
game,
the
right?
reason that they got left off is because they don't play a conference championship either. So you had teams that maybe had 2 losses, but went and beat a team that was undefeated prior to that.
Well,
And actually, that
Penn
is what
State,
happened
Penn
last
State
year.
lost the
Was it
game
Penn
last year, though,
State?
didn't they? I don't think they went undefeated.
You're right, they
Or
did
Michigan.
lose.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was to though. It was either Ohio State or Michigan. Like those teams beat
Speaking
each
of
other
the recruiting
once. And that's why
classes,
it kind of
Michigan
became a
should be
jumbled
fun to
mess.
watch. This is Harbaugh's first team with his players on it, so Michigan will be a good watch this year. Oh.
Yeah, I mean that dude is doing work at Michigan. He got them back to prominence real quick.
So I got the list up here. They got the top matchups of the season, and this Bama Florida State is the top matchup on the schedule of the whole year.
I think it's a little weird to say that game number 1 of the entire schedule is the best matchup, but if it turns out to be both these two teams are where everybody kind of thinks they're going to
Well-
be, they're 1 and 2 in the country. So you have a national championship preview.
And then you got the week right after, a week later, you have the third ranked game of the year. You have
I don't care about Ohio State either. Both of those teams
Get
can
out
go
of here. I don't care
somewhere.
about Oklahoma. I don't like Ohio State. I just don't care about Oklahoma. Like,
Oh,
Yep.
you don't like
Is it-
Baker Mayfield, man?
isn't Bob Stoops gone? Didn't he retire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've watched Oklahoma and Ohio State be blown up my entire life, and then get blown out in every big game they played.
Yeah. The only time it didn't happen was when Ohio State cheated and stole the national championship.
They're just those
Until it
teams.
never
Like
happened.
they get so much
Never
hype. They're like Notre Dame. They get so much
Like-
hype, and once they step up and play like a legit team, they get crushed every time. So it's like you can't even get excited to watch those games because you know the outcome.
Yeah.
Wasn't Ohio State
Probably.
favorites in the
It wouldn't surprise
national
me.
championship game against the Gators? And I'll never forget Urban Meyer telling the story that his offensive coach, one of the offensive coach watched the game plan or like the game footage on Ohio State, and he walked by Urban Meyer and said, "We're gonna win by 3." And he was like, 3 points? Like, okay, like we got some work to do. He was like, "No, touchdowns." He was like, "They're not fast enough." And they
Florida
went out
teams are
there and
stacked.
blew them out.
That's when everybody was there.
Yeah, that was when Percy
yeah.
Harvin was there, right?
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
Everybody was there. Chris Lee,
and Urban
everyone.
Meyer.
Actually, I want to pose this question. I heard this on ESPN.
Yeah,
and
boy.
It was Paul Feinbaum said it. Is Urban Meyer? Yep, apparently.
For life.
Is Urban Meyer?
I wouldn't say he is. He's been in
producing
the
at Ohio
playoffs
State.
the last 2 seasons, right?
He won a national championship, right?
Yeah, he's won 1.
None.
How many did Jim Tressel win? Legitimately.
Every time.
How many times has he beaten
Yeah.
Michigan?
What else? What else?
So no.
It was a question that I heard on there, and I was like, that's kind of ridiculous. But the facts he was saying were basically his teams are so good, but they never finish off at the end of the season. They always lose that game and don't win a championship. Should he have more than one? Where
Well, that's kinda
he's comparing it
ridiculous.
to Nick Saban, who's got 600,000 at this
Right.
I mean, yeah, like it's Nick Saban. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
Alabama.
Like, I
is
get he's Urban
absolutely
Meyer, but
stacked. Like
don't know.
they're like almost comparable to those Miami teams where they lose 10 guys and yeah, exactly. And the next 10 guys that replace them
Not
are
as fun.
NFL picks too. Like Alabama is a monster.
Yeah, like last year when they lost to Clemson at the last second, they weren't supposed to be the team that was going to run away with the championship, and they almost won it. They brought everybody back from that squad, it seems like.
That's because everybody on their team is like twice the size of everyone else. They have no.
Yo.
They're like the only team I know that just backed year after year after year with no one at quarterback, and they just.
It's the closest thing that we've seen to the U those years when we were growing up, when they had like Vince Wilfork and they would throw out that first defensive line, and then a couple of weeks later, here comes second defensive line.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's.
I thought somebody just said that, but I might be
smash-mouth
mistaken.
football. Like you just.
I didn't hear it if it was said,
I heard it in the playback.
but I'm glad
It was a
that
playback.
we're on the same wavelength.
But like all their running backs are just are all like linebackers. It's just wild, dude.
Yeah, they don't have the like speedy guy. They just
And they
run
have
it down your throat. And
All
try to run
NFL
over you.
picks on their team, so they're
Will we
doing
ha-
what they want.
Will we ever
Yeah.
get a team that just lets other teams know again? Because if you want me to
hope so.
like really be all about a team, that's what I need. I need someone pointing at a DB as he burns them. I need like someone getting laid out and the safety standing over top of them, letting them know. I need something like that in my life.
Walking off the plane and all
Like,
camo.
like
going
that
to
will
Notre
never
Dame.
happen.
Yeah.
The
Nothing
swag,
like that will
bring it
ever
back.
happen again.
Right? I mean,
No, that
Yeah,
won't. No.
I just need a little bit. I just need a little.
I
need
feel like
these
they
kids-
can't because they'll get so
Give me
many
the modern
flags
day
now.
version of
Like
it.
they're not
Yeah.
playing that.
Just
They won't get drafted high because
And
of
it'll
it.
be a knock
yeah.
on their character.
Yep.
Like,
Uh,
yeah.
all that stuff,
Nah,
man.
they
You
would
can't
hate
have fun,
that
but
so
it'd be
much.
perfect for the
They'd
no
be
fun league. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They're warming up, man. They're warming up. They're gonna allow some. It just can't be a lewd conduct on the field. Did He can't do his.
Did you watch
his
Hard
bow and
Knocks
arrow,
last
nothing.
weekend?
Why?
Shooting weapons.
Gerald McCoy was doing the hip shake and the knees. He
Yeah,
said,
you
as
saw
long as
the,
I don't look at him seductively,
with
it's
the
not
hips,
a penalty.
with the hips, yeah. It's all knees. It's all knees, baby. It's all knees. Ain't no
funny.
hips here.
Ed Hockley, yep. He said, as long as I don't give him
And
this
Ed,
look,
they
it's
had
not a
Ed
penalty.
Hockley up in there.
Gerald McCoy's an interesting guy.
That's with all his superhero socks.
The cleats, too. Those whole
He
cleats are
had
dope.
the Hulk socks
Yep.
on. He had everybody's sock. Yeah.
He's a character. That's what the NFL needs more of. Let these people be themselves. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a sport. You're supposed to have fun. Yeah, before we get too far off topic, though, we have teased. You're going to do a list all season long, kind of keep track for myself, you, and
Boo.
any other Jet fan out there, the top quarterbacks in college. Shh. Relax, Buff. Go circle your wagon.
Yeah, so I was checking out this. They got a top 15 list, and I'm not gonna go that deep at all. They're crazy this early.
Yeah, just give us your top 5 that you got.
I'll see. I'm gonna tell you who they got listed.
Trojans.
I don't agree with. They got Sam Darnold number 1, and is he gonna be a top prospect? Yeah. Did he have a big game, and that's what everybody's remembering? But my boy right here, the Wyoming candidate, Josh Allen. This guy's got everything it takes, I think, to be number 1. And then you got Rosen at UCLA, but he's coming off an injury, so we'll see how he pans off of that. And then the last.
I don't trust him. I don't mean to interrupt you there, but I don't trust anybody coming from a Jim Mora team. I don't want your quarterback.
Nah, and then he had that stupid comment talking about SEC and their SAT scores and stuff. Like, you don't want Bama coming to play UCLA, bro. And then the last 2 to round it out. I mean, you got the Lamar Jackson here. I think he's got rare capabilities, but I don't think his talent matches the NFL. And someone I haven't watched anything on yet, number 5, is Mason Rudolph from Oklahoma State. So let's see if he jumps up the charts here or if he drastically falls down.
He's probably going to put up good numbers. I just know that Oklahoma State runs that pro-style spread offense, so they'll put out a lot of passing yards. He'll probably have good numbers. We'll just have to keep an eye on the interceptions, the missed passes. That's the kind of stuff you want to keep an eye on with those type of dudes.
Well, won't the interceptions be inflated if he throws all the time? Like, interceptions really aren't a good.
I mean, it depends on the quarterback. So, like with Mitch here, he didn't throw any interceptions, essentially. I think he had 5 all season long, and we throw a lot. We run 70-plus plays a game. So that tells me that you're accurate. You're not making a stupid pass.
But if he throws,
Versus, well, here, the other point to it is Deshaun Watson with Clemson. They run the same type of pro-style offense. He threw a ton of interceptions, but his touchdown numbers were higher as well. So he's taking a little bit more risk. You can kind of just
The other
get
thing
a little
about
bit
that,
of
though,
a
is
feel
I
for
feel
what
like
they do based off their
Watson
interception
can
numbers.
take more risk on Clemson than Mitch can take with UNC because Clemson has a good defense, whereas UNC's defense is notoriously shit. So,
Yeah.
if Clemson turns the ball over, it's not as
No
nearly as
argument on
bad
that.
as it's not guaranteed points. Pretty much, like the Tar Heels are going to give up. So, you could take chances and be a gunslinger in that
That's true.
situation.
The one thing that guy Mason Rudolph has going against him is he has average arm strength. So if he comes out of the year and he does have touchdowns and he makes it, it's all going to be on accuracy, which good for him. But I've had Chad Pennington in my life for
I
way
was
too
just
long.
going to say, I love Chad, but I don't want another Chad as the quarterback of the Jets.
No, if you're not throwing lasers, don't come to New York.
I will never forget one of the saddest things I ever saw at a Jets game.
Just
Don't
Chad
even remember
in
who they
general?
were playing. Nope. Well, yeah, and this particular memory, yeah. We had a back out of the backfield that got loose, was wide open downfield, 30 yards downfield. Nobody's around him. Everybody stood up. It's a touchdown. The ball was thrown, and the ball fell 5 yards short.
Nah.
We could have made
It
that
was
throw.
30 yards. Come on.
Me and Rich went to a game where against the Jags. He just came back from a rotator cuff, and he threw a 10-yard out, and it literally was a punt. It went straight up in the air, dude.
Called fair catch
McCarron
on
was
it.
waiting for the 10-yard out to come down.
Talk about a dude who had a mind for football and got
Nathan,
lucky because he
yeah.
had a beast for a college teammate.
Randy.
Yeah. Like before the rotator cuff, he had enough of an arm, just lob that shit up, throw it downfield. You're good.
What an,
Dante
what-
Culpepper did in Minnesota.
What an
Oh,
odd
Culpepper had a
double, man.
cannon.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, he had Randy.
Listen,
throw the ball
Culpepper
down
was
the field,
nice until he got
you're good.
hurt.
Yeah.
What were you going to bring up, Rich?
I was gonna bring up. I just looked up that Mason Rudolph's numbers from last year. He threw 448 times. He completed 63% of his passes for 4,091 yards, 28 touchdowns,
so-
4 interceptions.
I like those numbers.
And
That's probably
he
a lot of
averaged,
short
and
passes.
he averaged 10 yards a pass. No, like
So
he's
out of
good
those
for- like,
5 you
10 yards is
mentioned,
like
I'm putting my chips into the Action Jackson basket for the Heisman. Too many. Yep.
Oh, again?
That would,
that's
that
like the
was-
least
well,
shocking shit you
I,
could have
I
said.
was gonna go with my boy with the
I
Trojans.
thought you were gonna
but
ride with my man
I gotta
Rudolph
go with
here, and you
Action
just
Jackson,
go.
man. You know I gotta stay with my boy.
You should pick your boy from Florida State, DeAndre Francois. He sounds like he's got the Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
written all over him.
Pass.
oh, man.
Good
French
salute to my
Canadians.
Francois up in
Yeah.
Canada. To
So
all
the
our-
Bills can draft him when
to
they go
all
to
our
the
above the border
CFL when they get
listeners.
relegated.
That really needs to happen. That would be
Yeah.
awesome if they did.
Well, I was
Browns
about to
Bills
say.
out. The Jets will probably get on that list at some point.
Don't act like you exclude it. At least we going 7-9.
Nope. We're going
Y'all ain't
going
about to
out
win a
third.
game.
You
What are you
guys will be
talking
the
about?
first two out.
Oh, so that one game is going to be worst record in the league.
No, we're
though.
winning one.
So who gets relegated first? The bad team, right?
Yeah,
All right,
You're already in a different
got it.
country. Just go ahead and stay there.
the wagon circlers.
well played. Yo, he
Antoine
probably,
Bolden went
he
there and
probably saw how
retired.
bad they
He's
were
like,
in practice.
"Screw
He was like,
this."
nah, I get my jaw broke again for this. Yeah, that was so bad.
He got his face broke.
Anquan Bolden
Played
was a
like 3 weeks
badass,
later.
man. That dude was so nice, too.
He's still playing. I think he just signed with a team.
Man,
like 2
where
weeks
is
ago.
Kyle in this
He
conversation?
just retired, son.
Apparently not in the same page as you are.
just-
He was on the Bills. Yeah,
He's
man.
retired, man. From
Oh, did he?
From
Get your head in
Buffalo.
the game, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
showtime.
just completely missed that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
McCoy hit play. Way to be prepared.
we'll run
Way to
back
be-
the other
Way to be
conversation.
prepared, Stro.
Yo.
Yeah,
We'll blame it on
You
that.
say
The
one more
Eclipse-
thing
the
after
Eclipse
we
must
say
have
it.
done something to me.
Yeah.
Fucked up your ears.
All right, so one of the other topics that we said we were going to talk about was, well, you guys originally started with pick your favorite game ever that you would be able to attend in person. And I think it all started with like 4 games that were on a poll that you had, Rich.
Yeah.
And it was which one would you want to sit courtside? So we're just expanding it to any game ever. But
Yeah.
I don't think I can pick one game. It took me all day just to narrow it down to like 5, and I'm going to pick 2 now out of that 5.
And I'd still
The
want
Miracle
to pick
on Ice.
other ones.
Yeah, like there's mad of them that I'd want to be at, but the Miracle on Ice is one of them. When we beat the Russian team in the '86 Olympics, and then The other one, I don't know if it's really a game, but it was played, and it's the practice that the Dream Team had, where Magic picked a squad, Mike picked a squad, and they went at it. That's some shit I'd like to sit down and watch.
Yeah, I would definitely want to see that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
you talk about exclusivity. Not many people got to see that.
yeah, so that's why it's technically wasn't a game, but there was a game played. If there's somebody that's going to be able to go watch it, that's the one I'm picking to go to. And then the other one with the Olympics, I mean, if you haven't seen the movie Miracle, that'll give you goosebumps. Think about what it would have been like to be at that game during the Cold War, all that was surrounding it, and then a college team to beat that juggernaut.
Yeah.
I think that would be really awesome to have been at.
That's history right there.
He said. Your reaction said it all, McCoy.
Right?
Well,
You're-
McCoy,
That's
you
easy
came
money,
up with
man.
one real quick today.
Look,
Yeah, you said you
So-
got yours.
so if I'm gonna go to one game of all time, I'm gonna go to the Jordan last shot in '98 to beat the Jazz. Game winner, easy.
I thought about that. I thought about
word?
I thought you were going to pick UNC Villanova.
that. Fuck you, Rich.
So funny that
I
you
was
mentioned
drinking,
that.
so it's a delayed reaction.
Because I was
Fuck
actually
you.
thinking about that, and I was like, yo, if we would have won that way, then yes, that would have been right at the top of the list. Like St. Marcus hit that three, and we won like that,
absolutely,
then
yeah.
yes, that would have been number
we
one
didn't.
for sure. And that game actually did pop into my mind. But I would have been in jail if I would have been at that game. 'Cause
hands
I would have
down.
been bugging out, pissed off.
So I told you guys this story. My brother lives in Houston, and the company that he works for, the electric company, runs this stuff in those arenas. So if I could have gotten to Houston, he could have gotten me into the game.
Oh, I wish you were there.
And he sent me a picture as soon as the game was over. And he was like 7 rows off the court, surrounded by Villanova people. And I was like, Adam, it's such a good thing that I wasn't at this game. Because if that went down and I was around all these people,
You would've
somebody
got your
would have
ass
said
kicked.
something stupid, and I would have hit him.
Kev, you remember how mad he was at you just for talking about the Mets and Yankees in the group chat that night?
Oh man.
Can you imagine how mad he would have been if that shit
That
happened
would
and
be
he was
awful.
there?
Yeah, he'd still be in jail.
Yeah. This podcast would have never happened.
He would have caught them first degree murder charges.
Oh my god.
Sometimes life
thing.
makes the decision for you, and I was not able to get to Houston. So thank you, life.
I'm not going to jail for some teenagers.
I can't imagine if he was there. Oh my goodness.
Just a random
have a
game
second
I was
game,
looking
McCoy?
at. Actually, y'all know I love my boy Mike Vick, so I actually pulled up a game he had again when he was on the Eagles. Actually, when he came back against the Washington football team, he was the first player in NFL history with 300 passing, 50 rushing, 4 passing touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. So I would have been pumped at that to see my boy shining after his issues he went through. And then stick it to your boy, the Washington team, Rich.
Yo, I
know, I already know what you're thinking about.
Because you were the only one that was there. But, yo, it's one of the biggest regrets I've ever had in my life that I actually said that. And we can just move on. What are your two, Kev?
So number one, man, I'm going to January 12th, 1969, when
Oh.
Joe Willie Namath brings
This was
home
another one on my list. I was hoping you were going to say that, Kev.
brings home the only championship in Jets history, and this way I'll be able to say that I've seen it. Because right now, that's nothing I've ever seen before. Damn eclipse happening every 99 years is happening. I can't even see a Jets championship out here, man. That's that's number one, and then number two is Game 5 of the 2000 World Series when the Yanks take it from the Mets, and the Subway Series World Series championship is celebrated.
I just
in
want to
Shea
say to
Stadium.
that,
Thanks,
since you
bro.
brought up the Jets not winning Super Bowl, we got some sorry ass football teams, man. Like the 4 of us got some sorry football teams. Like y'all
Oh
ain't
yeah,
made.
like this group chat
y'all-
has got some real bad football teams. The only The only
Right,
person
like
that
20
can have
years ago.
any type of glory was Rich in the early '90s, and
Longer than that, even.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, between the Jets and the Bills,
22.
there's some very
And y'all,
depressing.
and y'all want to
stories.
question why I don't ride out
Jets
for
and
it, man.
I think I'd rather not
Yeah,
seen
of course.
anything than have lost 4 Super Bowls.
That ain't
in
even a
row.
question.
Oh yeah.
I-
So I like the Mets have been to 2 World Series in my
Didn't they
lifetime.
win in, like,
and they've lost
86?
both of them, and it sucked both times. The Tar Heels that Rich just brought up, Villanova, that sucked. I can't imagine that happening
At least,
4
at
years
least
in
the,
a row.
the
Oh,
first game was
God.
close. The
At least
Giants
Don
Super
Beebe
Bowl
won
was
one
close
for
on the
you in
missed field
Green
goal, but
Bay.
the other 3 were blowouts. Cowboys stomped them.
I don't care. Getting
Yeah,
there,
but-
the hype of that game coming, and then having the letdown of losing, and then the next year, let's build it up again, and then lose. Think of it this way, McCoy. Like, imagine if we had
But
lost
what if-
the Tar Heels, if they had not won the national championship over Gonzaga. I'm not doing this podcast because I'm still that upset. I'm not watching sports anymore because next year they're
No,
going to get
so I
back and they're going
would've
to rip my
never
heart
dealt
out
with
again.
that
I'm done. Can't do 4 in a row. Just give me not going.
That was
Dude, back-to-back AFC Championship losses for the Jets.
that was another game I was
That
thinking
was a
about
killer,
based
dude.
off knowing
That
how I
was
felt
rough.
about it when it happened a few months ago. Was the Kentucky UNC game that we won on that Luke May shot. just knowing how pumped I was in here when it
Yeah.
happened. I know if I was at the game, I would have been going nuts. Uh-huh.
Yeah, being solo and being
Add
fired
thousands
up.
of people to it.
All right, Rich. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're trash.
And the fact that it's Kentucky and I can't stand Kentucky. All right, Rich, give us your 2.
My 2, the very first one that came to mind was Game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals between Portland and LA. Because the oop from Kobe to Shaq, even when I see when I watch the
that's-
highlight of it, I still think that's
That-
the loudest Staples Center has ever been. And that game, they were down by 15 in the fourth quarter. Brian Shaw hit 3 threes. Robert Horry hit a 3. Kobe had 25, 11, and 9 or 7 assists. I don't know. It was just a fly game. I was 13 when I watched it, and I was on the edge of my seat. And that was that oop. Every time I see the oop, it
Shaq
feels
comes
that
out with
signals
his
five,
face.
they clicked.
Shaq's
Now
on the
you're all
big
in
smile.
trouble. Yeah,
So
Like that music, the music starts in the background.
yeah.
that's the first thing I
Uh-oh.
thought of when you said that game, man. That's the
Yeah,
only thing you should think of.
Yo, and the crazy thing
How
about
many
that
you
game
make?
is Shaq took 9 shots.
Wow.
Probably made all 9 of them.
No,
though.
he made 5. But he was 8 of 12 from the free
Shaq
throw.
always made his free throws when he had
Yeah,
to. I
Shaq
don't
made
know,
them when he had
people
to.
get on him yeah, he was generally
had
bad
to,
at them, but when you needed free throws, he was putting them down.
You see him sitting in the
Yeah.
stands, and he shot that ball from half court. It was on social media the other day. He was like, "Free throw that, bitch."
So that's my number 1. And number 2, there were a bunch of games I was going through, but I think number 2 is Game 6 of, I believe it was the Eastern Conference Finals in 2012 when LeBron went to Boston and dropped 45, 15, and 5 on the Celtics on the road to save everything that Miami was working for. It was year 2 of Miami, and they
Yeah,
lost.
that shit would have been a disaster if they don't even make it to the
Yo,
finals that year.
I went and I looked up just his stat. I knew he had 45, 15, and 5, but he shot 19 to 26 in that game. He straight murdered them. And I remember that was the game where I stopped questioning him at all. Because, there was
Yeah, he
no
went in
more
on them.
pressure he could have on him than that game. And he went there.
That's a good point, going into the Garden.
Yeah. After you lose the finals, after standing on that stage counting not 5, not 6, not 7, if they would have
Yeah.
lost to Boston in that game, it would have been a problem.
Yeah.
But 45, 15, and 5
what he
on
had to
19 and
do,
26.
That's
He went out
greatness
there
right there. Yeah, in
dominated that.
Boston.
Yeah.
In Boston too.
In Boston, on the road, right?
surp-
That's crazy.
It's a good list. I like those games. But
I'm
that's why we
surprised
can't
nobody
just
picked
pick
the
one. All
Dallas
those games I
Dallas
want
game
to go to.
I was thinking about it. Just to be a dick, I was gonna say it, but I kept it. I kept it real.
And anybody that's listening, if you have a game that we didn't touch on or you think is better than what we did, go ahead and tweet at us at the Fellas Podcast, where you can follow us if you're not already doing so. And we'd love to hear if you have any games that you personally like to see, you had been at, or hey, like I said, if you just think that you have one better. We're going to transition though, so we can get these last two topics in. Rich, we're going to go right back to you. I'm going to leave this up to you to kind of explain what the hell is going on with the Lakers and this tampering charge.
Oh,
How can you even prove that kind of thing?
well, it's hard to. So, this is what happened. The Lakers, we all know they're
mutual.
interested in signing Paul George after this season. And there was allegation by the Pacers that Magic Johnson spoke to Paul George. I don't know where, but they just spoke to each other before, like, they were allowed to. Because NBA rules are you're not allowed to talk. No team executive can talk to another team's player while he's under contract. So they said Magic spoke to him somehow, whether it was by the agent or it was just meeting him directly. And the Pacers filed this before the draft, so you're just hearing about it now. Because at first I was like, well, he traded. Like, why would, like, what do you care? Like, you traded him already.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't know it was beforehand. It was kind of
Yeah.
petty, I thought.
Yeah, it still seems kind of stupid. Because,
It
like,
is,
they
but
traded him.
They're butthurt. You know,
Yeah.
they had a superstar, and he said, no, I don't want to play here.
Yeah, so I was reading on ESPN, Bobby Marks, who's like a really good cap guy. They asked him, like, what is tampering? Like, what's going to happen? How does this usually go? And they said that sometimes the league just handles it in-house. Like, they look at something, they find a team, they can suspend guys or whatever. Or they can hire a third-party, like, representative, like lawyers outside to help investigate, which is what they're doing with the Lakers. They're investigating them with a separate lawyer group or whatever.
Gotcha.
And the problem is that they're looking into phone calls that Magic made to Paul George's agent at the time. But his agent also represented D'Angelo Russell and
Yeah,
Julius
I was going to
Randle.
say, like, agents have multiple players. That's
Yeah.
not going to help.
So there's no doubt in my mind Magic tampered, because tampering happens in the
Probably
NBA all the
It happens
time.
at every league, every level.
Yeah.
Especially
So-
with the NBA. These dudes are around each other, or somebody that's with you.
Exactly.
It's gonna
Well,
happen.
the players, they're allowed to tamper, I guess.
Yeah, like, players are
Yeah.
allowed to talk, but I mean, like, the executives are around these players, or if not the player themselves, an executive or an official that's with them somehow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're always going to have some type of communication.
You could
But
just
I
see
guess if-
Magic with a big smile on his face, just talking.
Yo, did you ever see that?
Just
Did you ever
talk
see
too
the
much.
Jimmy Kimmel interview with him?
Yeah,
Where he's like
Yes.
winking and stuff, like a real
Not
retard.
trying
up
very
there?
hard to hide it, right?
yeah. Like
But-
you could just.
Yeah, like, but I guess if they're found guilty, they can either get fined like a couple $1 million, they can get front office people suspended, they can lose up to 5 draft picks.
5. Holy
Yeah, because when Minnesota tampered with
Joe Smith.
Joe Smith back in the day, they lost 5 draft picks.
Yeah, he was on
for Joe
Minnesota.
Smith.
And they were
He
fine,
didn't even
man.
go there, did he?
They were fine money
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, he did? Okay.
And I guess the most crucial one besides the draft picks is they can be restricted from signing Paul George.
So do any of these articles think that'll happen?
That's
That's...
wild.
Yeah. So
So I don't like the draft pick stuff, but I do like that rule. If you're caught tampering, then you can't sign that person.
yeah, the guy said he doesn't think they'll find anything. He thinks that, like, if they do find something, they won't go that extreme with it. But
So is this because they have a third party, independent party that's investigating it? Is it like a court of law where it has to be proven?
Yeah, it has
or
to be
can it be
proven.
like, okay, so it can't just be like, we think you did it, but we're not 100%
Yeah,
sure, so we're gonna go get
he
you.
said that most likely LA will receive a letter that says you're found innocent, but if anything comes up down the road, we still reserve the
So
right
they won't
to
just
fine
be like
you
the NFL and
put
hand out
restrictions on it.
suspensions because they think something happened, basically. Okay. Oh,
No, they have to have it like proven. That's why they said it's hard, because
Yeah.
his agent represents D'Angelo Russell. Because they said they found a phone call on like June 22nd from Magic to the agent, but it's like that's before D'Angelo Russell was traded.
Right.
So like prove that he was talking to Paul George.
And if you're going to trade a player, you're probably going to be in contact with that player's agent.
Yeah, and I guess the problem is that the Pacers said that their tampering hurt his trade value because like he it was weird. It was like the Pacers said that their tampering hurt his trade value, but it's hard for anyone to prove that him just coming up to them saying I'm not going to stay here. You know, like
Yeah, like his trade value got hurt when he came out
Exactly.
publicly and
Yeah,
said, "I
there's
don't want to
nothing
play
wrong
here.
with
I want
that
to go home
at
and
all.
play in LA."
So,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like you
So-
said before, the Pacers were just butthurt that they couldn't keep the guy, and they need to deal with it at this point. And I think they're just mad because all they got back was Oladipo and Sabonis. I guess I'd be kind of pissed too.
they
Yeah,
could have gotten
right.
so much more
I
back
mean,
from
I-
Boston.
They're grasping at straws.
Listen,
here, you know?
me and Straub know exactly
throwing a
how they feel
temper
about trading a
tantrum over here.
superstar away for garbage players. And honestly, yeah, the tampering, T-Wolves,
You should file tampering charges.
Tibbs.
Tibbs tampered
Tibb,
with it.
yeah.
Tim's tampered your whole team.
Rich, what is it? What's our open say? It's like Tibbs had the password and just never gave it back to the
Yeah,
Bulls.
he committed an auto trade.
That's tampering.
Yeah, right.
Give me 5 draft picks.
I
So,
honestly only think this is a big deal because the Lakers are involved.
Rich,
Yeah,
if they
100%.
take
And,
And
Magic.
Magic.
And
Yeah,
Magic
and
Johnson.
Magic. Yeah.
Yep. Like
Say
Magic
the
just got
Lakers
into
do
the job
lose
and now
draft
he's
picks. Do
cheating.
the Pacers
Oh,
get them?
God.
Yeah.
so there would just be
No,
one
there's
less
still-
pick in the draft,
Is it-
or 2 less picks in
is
the
it
draft.
li-
That's kind of stupid.
Yes. Yep. I guess with Minnesota they lost 5 but got 2 back.
That's weird.
But
And like appeals.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wonder
They're
if
not
it's
gonna do
live
that to
in.
them.
5
Yeah.
draft picks is a devastating amount of draft picks in the NBA.
yeah.
Like that's setting you back 6-7 years. You know, if you're trying
Ask
to
the
rebuild,
Nets.
or if you're right on the cusp trying to get to that next level.
Well, that's the part that it's always good to be like the fact that I like the Lakers because like is the NBA really going to cripple them like that?
They already blocked one of your
Knowing how
trades
much-
once
One
before.
of the marquee
Yeah.
franchises.
No CP3 for you.
Well, that was at a bad time. They pulled that trade off at a bad time. It was right after the CBA was switched and everything. And Mitch was out here like, watch us save money
Now you're fired.
and get the better player.
No, can't do that.
Yo,
think
they
that
would have
would've
had
worked?
Chris Paul, Kobe, and Dwight.
You think it was
And-
just a
yeah.
disaster having Dwight Howard, regardless of
No.
who was on his team? You,
Yeah, and I
So
don't
Dwight-
really see
you
because
think
Chris Paul is a
Kobe and
dick like
CP3
Kobe.
would have just shattered Dwight
And
Howard?
plus-
yeah.
Kobe did.
Yeah, I mean, that happened with just one of them there.
There'd have been another one there just echoing every statement. Just,
And
Like, is it safe to say that by the time that Dwight was done in LA, he was no longer considered a superstar?
I think when he went to
He was
Houston.
taking off that.
Yeah, I
mantle
think when he
then.
went to Houston, though, people were still overly
Yeah, not
hyped about
fairly
him.
so.
Like,
I think he averaged 15 rebounds a game or 12 rebounds a game in LA, and he had a hurt back.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he was horrible there. He just
No, he was just hurt,
was-
and
he was just and
Kobe's
he was
a dick.
mentally destroyed by Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, but that season is Kobe's best year. It's the year he pulled his Achilles, but that year was Kobe's best year by far. Well, not by far, but it was his best year.
he was supposed to be Shaq, man, out here. That was
Well,
Shaq.
that's the thing. Like he put out this image like he was gonna be Shaq, and then when he wasn't Shaq, it was like, well, I don't want to be Shaq. It's like, okay, well, what are you
Can't have it
doing,
both
guy?
ways here, dude.
But the CP3 thing, I don't think he would have worked with Kobe either because Kobe for the first 9 when Shaq was there, so like 7 or 8 years, like he was the point guard. Like he only flourished when the point guard was there. Well, he didn't always flourish, but like he worked better when Derek Fisher was the point guard because Derek Fisher didn't have to do anything, just spot up in the corner and let Kobe handle the ball.
Yeah, Fish wasn't worried about scoring.
No, so Kobe did everything. So I don't think Chris Paul, like Kobe would have had to work off ball, and he literally never really did that.
All right, we're gonna get into Game of Thrones, and Kev, if I hadn't known that you've seen the text that we've sent in our group, I would tell you not to listen, because the shit that went down in this episode was the coolest thing in the world.
Hold on. Real quick before y'all get into your rant about this. Did you see Herm Edwards
No.
let out the big spoiler on Mike and Mike?
No,
So-
did he really?
So all that staff doesn't get up until it gets up crazy early in the morning, so they DVR'd it. That thing runs from like 3 to 7 or something like that. That show. So he gets on there and starts talking to Mike and to the sons and blows the whole show. Big Mike, I thought Big Mike Golick was gonna choke her, but go ahead, man. I thought that was funny. It was related to your Game of Thrones, man.
I mean, if you didn't watch it when it came out, especially like an episode that's hyped like this, that's really your own fault at that point.
Yeah, like I wasn't trying to have anything leaked to me.
I would've
so
loved to
just
watch it
watched
then.
it as soon as it leaked on Wednesday. Get ahead of the
Yeah.
game.
It's not late, right?
Comes on at 9 o'clock. Like, I mean, I know
I mean,
you
if
get
you
about
gotta
like
if you gotta be up and at work by 2:30, 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
9 o'clock may be too late for you.
yeah, maybe.
Well,
They should have stayed up for it though. It was worth it.
Go Herm.
So the Night King, the fact that he killed a dragon was friggin' absurdly shocking, but with the ease that he did it was my favorite part. Just slowly walked up, grabbed the spear, measured it up.
he ain't playing games.
One swift throw, down goes the dragon. And now the White Walkers have a fucking dragon. The Game of
been over.
Thrones is over in my mind.
Yo,
Winner, winner,
son,
chicken
every
dinner.
single one of those humans should be dead. Nobody should have made it out of there. I get
Every
like
single
Jon
one.
Snow, probably
No.
Jorah, maybe another guy. But for the most part, those people need to be all dead. Like, you realize nobody important died. A couple of those Brotherhood guys died. Who cares?
Well, yeah,
He
so
should have.
I thought
So
the
you know
Wildling
that.
was gonna die, and I feel like
Yeah,
this
I
was
did
like
too.
season 3. He would have.
yeah, so
Yeah.
So the whole thing is about the prophecy for the prince or princess that's promised, Azor, whatever the hell it's called. The group that they showed them going out with, those 7 or 8 guys, are all supposed to symbolize somebody in that story. And
That's
in
what
that
should happen.
story, all of them except for Jon Snow died. But they didn't do it in the TV show because obviously
You
they're
don't
going to
need
want to
those
keep them
guys
around
to
for
have a big fight
scenes
scene, though.
next
That's the
season.
thing. Like, none of those guys.
Yeah, none of them are important.
But I mean, that's the only logic that I can think of that they didn't kill him, because at no other point in this show have they.
Well, I
not
think the
killed
Hound is
somebody
gonna fight
because
the
they wanted-
Mountain.
because a fan liked him.
I think the Hound's
Like,
alive because
Ned
he's
Stark
going to
got
kill
his
the
head
Mountain.
chopped off right away.
So, yes. Which, I'm cool with
That's
that.
gonna be
If Jon
crazy.
Snow,
That's gonna
say
be
Jorah
insane.
and the Hound walk out of there, and everybody else dies, I'm a happy guy. Everybody else can go.
I will say though, when I saw
Tormund.
the wildling and I thought he was about to die, I can't think of what his name is. Yeah, when I saw that he was about to die, I was kind of upset because I love the dude. He's hysterical. Like when they were walking out and he was like, "The big chick, I have the big chick waiting for me back home." Oh, you guys are together?
Yeah,
Not
the
yet,
Hound was
but
tight,
I love the
too.
way she looks. That dude is.
The Hound was
awesome.
like, oh, let me watch my mouth. Yeah, let me not run my mouth to this guy. I might get
You
the
know
business
Brienne
again.
of Tarth?
Those fire swords were official, though. I like how they just grabbed them.
Yeah. I love when they do episodes. I love when they do episodes like this because it's not like this is going to be a big episode and they don't really waste time.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes into it.
Like 30 minutes of it is a fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I love it. That is so awesome. 5 minutes into the show, they're fighting
yeah,
a
and that
fucking
dude's like-
White Walker bear.
I watched it again
Hey,
today, and
welcome
that
to the
dude, Gentry, he definitely said, "Do bears have blue eyes?" Yeah, he was asking because he never saw a bear before. Because earlier in that scene,
Oh, like he was asking if they do.
yeah,
Okay.
earlier in that scene, he said something to Tormund
That
about the
makes
snow,
sense.
and he was like, "Oh, it's beautiful." And he's like, "I've never seen the snow before," so he's obviously never seen a polar bear, you know? Yep.
Yeah, he's been hiding out, so that makes sense. When I originally heard it, I thought he was saying
Yeah,
like,
either way
"Oh
would
no,
make sense.
that's not a
but
regular bear. It's
yeah.
got blue eyes."
That bear was dope, though.
Yeah. It was.
I was getting
That's
called a
not
hater all
hating,
night.
that's
'Cause I was
facts.
blaming Jon Snow for the reason why the dragon got killed.
Just hop on the dragon, son. Let
No,
the dragon.
Like, he should have just
Yeah,
got
was
on the
that
dragon.
fool's
He didn't have to be
Honestly,
here.
why is Jon Snow doing
get on the
that?
dragon,
Let
man.
somebody else do it. You're the king of the north, son. Let one of these other clowns do
I
that.
don't know.
The dragon
Yeah.
literally landed next to him, and then he ran away from it to go fight
Yeah,
while everybody
I
was
didn't,
all to the
understand,
dragon.
I didn't understand
Yeah.
that at all.
Right before you got into this, into the group here, Rich McCoy and I were actually talking about that, going, why? Like, as soon as I saw him walking away, my mind went to, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What
And
are
they
you
don't have
doing
a
this
Yeah.
zombie dragon.
Get on the dragon and go. Yeah.
Well, I gotta tell you, that battle and all of its, like, I know it's saying if he doesn't kill the dragon, it's this, because he killed the dragon. You can't take that out of it, but I wasn't, like, I don't think that battle was as good as the other battles they've had. Like, it wasn't as
No.
good as Battle of the Bastards. It wasn't as good as
the one a couple weeks ago
Blackfish
when the dragon
I don't
roasted
think it was
the
supposed to
Lannisters.
be, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
I would even say
Hard
that
home?
that battle against those
Not even
White Walkers
close, no.
wasn't even as good
The only
as
thing-
the first battle we saw. Yeah. You know, but I don't think it was supposed to be, because it was so it was a small group, and if you had too much going on, it would have been too over the top, too
We're past
unrealistic at
that.
that point. I know I'm saying that about this show, that it's unrealistic, but
with the dragon.
but if you have those guys and
they
they're
die quickly.
not surrounded by the water and they actually have to fight off that big huge horde, yeah. So in that sense, I think I understand why they did it that way.
Ain't nobody
Someone needs
scolding
to
now.
scold the hound.
Stop throwing stuff, right?
Like,
Why?
stop throwing, like,
Oh,
Throw-
stop throwing rocks.
just throwing rocks at this whole army surrounded you. Like, what are you doing, man?
I loved his face when he saw it roll across
Come on,
into the feet
Clegane.
of the White Walker. Oh, fuck. You know, everybody else in their mind
Yeah,
is like,
he
come
was. He
on,
had to be at
dude,
that point.
why?
He was even like that.
I didn't like how they were just all sleeping on the island. Like they were just all woke up. Like they were just sleeping there. None of the zombies,
Yeah.
right?
Like, I'm not falling asleep.
No.
Yeah, like I'm not falling asleep when I'm surrounded by zombies. Not happening.
Oh, when I was working today, I actually was thinking about this. And what if, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but what if the whole, because, like, whenever you hear Khaleesi talk about the dragons, it's like, I'm their mom. Like, their bond between them is so strong, her and the dragons, right? What if when the battle happens with the White Walkers and they have the zombie dragon, that, like, they're winning, the White Walkers are winning, because I don't see how they can beat them. Like,
Like
they,
I said, the Game of Thrones is over. They have a
yeah,
dragon.
like, I don't, but what if when the dragon sees Khaleesi, like, her bond with them is stronger than the bond with, because remember, they also pointed
Yeah,
out
no,
that,
I know what you're saying. I could definitely see something like that working in their favor, or something even where, like, because they were born from fire.
yeah.
So maybe the one dragon breathes fire onto that one, and
Yeah,
it brings it
because,
back
like,
to life or
everyone's just
something.
assuming this dragon is going to rock with the White Walkers because that's how it goes. But
Well-
maybe it doesn't.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. That
Because I also thought it was interesting they made it a point that, like, when they killed that one general, that all the ones that he turned into White Walkers died too.
yeah,
except
which is
for
why
the
they
one.
Said if you can kill the Night King, you kill all of them.
Yeah, and maybe they don't need to kill the Night King because they have her.
Yeah, that would be an interesting little twist.
And that's how she's going to flip it on him. And then she'll be riding the
John
dead dragon.
Snow would ride that one.
Riding the blue fire dragon.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll be fire and ice combining. And that'll beat it
Yeah,
off.
which is what that essentially is. The Targaryen Stark whole thing is fire ice.
The
So
theory right there. I like
look at
it.
Rich coming
I
up
like
with a
it.
possible spoiler here.
I don't need to watch the season.
It's the specs.
That's right. Because I didn't look into
Pictures,
the
though.
eclipse. I did.
All right, Four Corners time. I because I've been watching it all day long and they have been dominating, and I live in North Carolina. Little League World Series time. We're going to talk about
I've seen
it. Have
parts
you
of
guys
like a
watched
game or
any
two,
of it at all?
but not really.
No. Kev, what about you?
I've had it on like every day.
So have you s-
I've seen it, and I showed you guys the highlight of that little kid hitting that big kid hitting that bomb.
Yeah, I was
That
gonna
was
say
the
one,
coolest
he's not a
shit I've
little
ever
kid. One, he's not a little kid, and two, that 12-year-old hit a ball 400
He's on
feet. He's on
steroids.
steroids. Good for him. So the North Carolina team did something that has never been done by a U.S. team ever before. In their first two games in a Little League World Series, they threw back-to-back no-hitters and outscored their opponents 24-0. dominating them,
Stand up.
running through shit. Let's go NC, bring that title home. Bring it, keep it in the U.S. and bring it down to North Carolina.
Who'd they do that to?
California yesterday,
Oh,
which
yeah.
were, like California was one of the better teams, or was expected to be, and they beat them 10-0. And I don't remember who it was that they played in game
But
one,
did not work.
but that was a 14-0 game.
I heard that they're actually
Yeah.
one of the games I did watch. They said they're lowering the age limit next year, so a lot of the 13-year-olds, like that big kid, won't be able to play next year.
Good, it's Little League baseball. Like when I played,
What do you mean
when
good?
You guys, it's 11 and
I don't know.
12-year-old. Why are they allowing
I didn't
13-year-olds?
check
When's
Danny
his birthday
Almonte's
fall?
birth certificate.
You know, like it's been this way forever.
Apparently, neither did the Little League World Series.
So
Find out 3 years later that he's out there 14 chucking stees.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
I
said
think
they're
they're just
lowering
pushing
it?
it
They're
back
gonna
so
let
the
the
older
smaller
kids
kids in
can't
this?
play. Like,
No, I
like the
think
kids
it's
that are 6'3", 250.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
So you don't
right.
get the kids.
That
You
are
don't get the
bigger than
kids
us
that a
out
week
there
into the
hitting home
season
runs.
turn 13. Yeah.
I was about to say, what are we gonna be watching? T-ball championships now? Yeah, you gotta lower the age.
Right? Thank you, Kev.
Word.
It's the
People
only way you
wear
get
it.
better is if you play against people better than you.
Right? When that kid hit it into the trees, I was pumped. Like, I'll
Right.
watch more Little League World Series.
Easily the best part of that clip though was the fact that the announcers were talking about the kid and the fact that somebody told him that he could hit a ball into the trees like it was a myth. And as they said it, we have liftoff. That shit jumped off the bat.
Did you see the Cardinals Pirates game last night?
I did. I saw the first couple of innings, and then I had to go to work. But I,
I
did
thought-
see the beginning of it. It was really cool.
I thought that was cool. Like, they're playing in, like, what was that? Like almost like a low
It's a-
ball
it's-
stadium?
Yeah, it's a single A team. So Rich McCoy, you guys probably don't know about it since you haven't been watching. The last couple of years they've done this thing where they interject MLB players in with the kids and
That's
have
cool.
them like come around for a day, hang out with the kids. Then last night the Cardinals and Pirates played a game at a single A stadium that's pretty close to where the Little League World Series is, and it was. Do you remember what the capacity they said it was, Kev?
Dude,
It wasn't big. It's a single A stadium, so
Had
imagine
no
like going to the
outfield.
Hudson Valley Renegades.
It had no outfield seats.
But it was all the teams, the coaches, and the family members that were in attendance. There weren't really like tickets for public to buy. So the baseball players, the MLB players, put on a show for these little kids. It was pretty cool.
They wore
Baseball
nicknames
does
on the
something,
back
right?
of their jerseys. And,
Baseball has done some pretty cool stuff recently. Last year they played a game at an Army base and
that's
didn't
awesome.
invite the public. It was just for Army people.
They built that. They built that stadium just for that game.
Yep. Yeah. Rob Manfred, the new commissioner for MLB baseball, getting 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
While
let's
other
still get
guys out there that are
extensions.
commissioners suck asshole like Goodell.
Goodell just got a 5-year
Manfred is
extension,
doing
too.
some good stuff.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
No, not yet. They're talking about it though. No. No. So one of you guys go ahead, take your corner.
Can I go next? Mine's kind of long.
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so I was gonna try to make this. I was gonna talk to you guys to see if you want to make it like just a podcast or like a 30-minute cut for me and McCoy, but I figured I can get you all in this. Complex ranked the top 10 Jay-Z verses of all time. So I was gonna see if McCoy just wanted to do this, but we can all get in on it. Number 10
Come and get
is
me.
"Come and Get Me," verse 1. Number 9. Number 9 is verse 3.
This
on
you
the
so
Takeover.
lame.
Number 8
That's a dope
is
album, too.
verse 3 on "The Streets Is Watching." Number 7 is "Jigga What, Jigga Who," verse 2. Number 6 is his first verse on "Renegade" with Eminem.
The intro.
Number 5 is "Intro."
Which intro? Yeah.
It just says "Intro." I might have cut it off. I don't know. Number 4 is his second verse on "PSA." Number 3 is his second verse
Okay.
on "Intro," "A Million and One Questions," "Rhyme No More." Number 2 is verse 1 on Can I Live?
Dead Presidents.
And number 1 is
I like,
verse 2 on Dead
if
Presidents.
I had to pick one that wasn't on that list that just sticks out to me as far as Jay-Z verses I love, I would go with, y'all know this is one of my favorite songs. I know you guys like it a lot too. But Never Let Me Down with Kanye. When after the dude spits the poem and Hove comes back, who else you know been hot this long? Started from nothing and we got this strong. Built a rock from a pebble. That verse is dope. I love that. But there's so many Jay-Z verses that are just amazing. But that one, I'm not surprised it's not on there, but I would definitely put that up on my list.
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
mean-
That's crazy that they went through and really ranked them 1 through 10. That's why.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty sick. And like there was little like links to every one
Oh, really?
that when you clicked on it, like it was the actual verse.
When was
Like-
this? When was this recent?
It was it was last Thursday.
Oh, nice. So
So
this is
yeah, it was pretty recent. I don't know. I thought it was fly. I was gonna actually
No,
ask McCoy if he wanted to do like a 20-25 minute one, just so he could ramble about it. Because
Yeah.
he was the first person I thought of when I saw
I'll
it.
spit all those verses
McCoy
right
could go
now.
on about that for sure.
Put the beat on. Put the beat on.
The crazy thing is, number 6, the Renegade one. Like a lot of
All
people.
right, but my
like
problem with
Eminem.
that
Eminem murdered him on that.
is, son,
Oh,
Eminem
see?
is one
Yeah,
of
this is why it's good.
Eminem's first off the highest selling rap artist ever, and lyrically one of the best rappers ever. So Eminem having a better verse than you isn't really dissing you. Eminem's gonna have a better verse than, yeah. Like I don't understand the critique
Oh
there.
no, yeah,
Like
I agree with you.
you know, like that was
yeah.
something. What Nas said that in the Takeover. Like okay, is that worse or is Hov saying, and your
It's-
bodyguard murdered you on your own shit? Like, what's worse? The dude killing Nas on Uchiwali or Eminem out rapping Jay-Z? Like, there's no competition.
It's
Yeah,
almost
right?
like AI catching Jordan with the crossover.
Yeah, right?
Like it's
did
not
that
like
to
AI
everyone,
caught you
you
with a
know?
crossover. It's gonna happen. You're still better than him.
He's good. He's good. It's okay for it to be there.
And just
Yeah,
like,
you know.
think about
Yeah.
how Eminem, like how hyped Eminem is
What-
writing that verse. Like I'm about to be on. That was on the Blueprint, which is probably my favorite rap album ever. And he's rapping with Jay-Z. Like that dude's coming with straight fire. Like
Right?
yeah, right. Like I'm about to
That's
lay
like
this
ball
down
out
with
with
Jay-Z,
Jay.
and he made the beat. Like so, you know he's coming with it.
Excuse,
Yeah, right? Like he wouldn't.
excuse M for bringing his A.
Dude, if he didn't, if his verse wasn't heat like that,
That's
he
a
wouldn't have been
fire-ass
allowed
song,
on the
too.
track. You know, Hov would have just said, "No, I'm cutting that out and putting myself
Nope.
on third
Right?
verse, like or second verse." Yeah, everybody wants to hate,
People
and it's
just
like
need
I
to
don't
appreciate
understand.
it.
2001, same
What
day as
year
the
did that-
Towers dropped.
What year did that come out?
Went to
Yeah.
Target and bought
so
that.
we're also talking about
We
a
went
point
to
when-
Target on
Right up.
9/11
Uh-huh.
to buy it. We were the only
No.
ones in Target.
We're also talking about a time when, although Eminem was known and everybody knew he was really good, he wasn't Jay-Z level. Like Jay-Z was an icon. This dude was
Had to.
absolutely going to come on his record and throw something down real good. Yeah, he wasn't going to come in and be like, "Oh, Jay-Z wants
You
me
ain't
to
gonna
do
be on the
something
track
his
then.
record.
Yeah,
I'ma
you know
give
you
him
won't
my
you won't make the final cut if you do that.
don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
right.
because
Yeah,
I
it's
can
gonna
sell
be
this
better
song
with
with
you.
or without you.
I love
Yeah,
Eminem's
like I'm doing
guest
you the
verses
favor
in
asking you to
general,
be
though.
on
Like,
here.
when he's on other people's songs, that's my favorite Eminem, because he's gonna spit what they like, the concept of the song, not his stuff. You know?
Do you?
Because it's their, exactly, yeah, their
Right.
concept,
What up?
not his crazy ass thoughts.
McCoy.
Oh, M.
Do you
right?
remember what he
Yeah,
did to the
killed
Beamer
that.
Benz and Bentley
And
beat?
everybody stopped rapping over it after that. Mad long.
but that was
yeah.
only because he rapped for
just
like what, a
freestyled
minute and
over
a
it
half,
and
2
murked
minutes.
it.
Like it wasn't
Yeah,
a
that dude's
song. He
ridiculous,
just went
man.
on the
His
beat.
Freestyles and his guest verses are
Yeah.
amazing. He's just one of those guys. I'd rather listen to him on somebody else's song than his own songs. And so just for, yep, Jada, just
your boy
like Jada
Jadakiss.
Kiss. You'll get an ill feature out of him, but there's so and I don't even think it's that Eminem can't write songs. think the stuff that he thinks to make is that, I just don't care for the content. Yeah, right. He needs somebody else to like Dr. Dre or somebody else to like rein him in and hold him down a little bit. Like, this
Rein
is
him
what
in.
this song is about. Rap, try to stick to this. And then he's like, that's peak.
I watched a show with him in it, and it was some like news show, and they kept just throwing words at him that he had to rhyme with. And,
I saw that.
And the guy tried to be slick and threw orange at him, and he did like almost like a 2-minute freestyle just rhyming orange, and that used to bust a rhyme. We were all stumped on some kings, man.
Eminem would be the worst person to play that game with.
Not, and I know me and McCoy have talked about this a lot in our life, but
Oh,
Eminem
yeah.
has the best diss songs.
Oh yeah.
Against Benzino.
Yo, I don't listen to a lot of the underground
Nail in
stuff,
the
but I
coffin.
know about that.
Like,
That song.
I don't wanna be like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
what he
'cause that's
can
how he
unleash
came
his
up, like
realness,
fighting
man.
for survival out there. Everybody was trying him coming up. Yep.
8 miles, son.
Rich, I like that corner. Changed it up.
Yeah, I like that one,
The
too.
normal stuff. Good
I'm
job.
here for the hip hop discussion.
I really
I
wanted to
would've
do
been
like a
down for it.
30-minute podcast with you on
Well,
McCoy.
so I mentioned it. I mentioned it during the week. Once we get into the sports season, because we're clearly easily getting through an hour. Keep an eye out, everybody. We'll throw out little 10, 20-minute podcasts if there's something that comes up that we want to talk about, or just a couple of us maybe. So keep an eye out for those ones, because I think that's a good idea, especially with stuff like that. Just give McCoy the
Run with
platform
it.
and let him go.
That's what I was gonna do.
Kev, go ahead and take your corner, Kev.
So it ain't much, man, but I'm got my fingers crossed here. Madden 18 comes out Friday, and I believe the Madden curse is gonna run strong, and we're finally gonna take out Tom. What do you think?
Oh no!
Oh, Tom's on the cover. Yes, yes.
I think
Yes,
he's
let's
he's
go.
gone.
I was wondering where you were going with this because I didn't even know Madden was a thing anymore. Yes.
Y'all still
take
ain't gonna
out
win the
knees.
division, so what's the matter?
Down goes Tom.
Yeah, y'all want the Bills to win the division?
That's fine. I just don't need the Patriots winning another Super Bowl.
Because Cutler
man.
and the Dolphins ain't gonna do it.
Well, you know that's not going to happen.
We're just relegating
Nobody
everybody.
does. It's a default division. Man, let's be real. If Tom
Right,
went
so
down,
that's the
Jimmy
problem,
Garoppolo is
Mike.
stepping in, and they're still winning the division.
They went 11-5 with
So
Matt
that's the
Castle.
problem.
Yeah, with Matt Castle.
I just want to see the Madden curse continue.
But that's-
boy. It
I'm gonna get
takes
you guys.
it takes
I do
everyone
too,
out.
Kev. I'm gonna get you guys real upset though. But Matt Castle made them go 11-5 because Tom Brady.
You ain't getting nobody upset because that's a bunch of shit.
'Cause that's a bunch of shit.
You ain't tricking us.
That's all you gotta say to that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Right. If you mean he is the system, okay.
He's
I meant that
amazing.
completely joking around. That dude is a freaking
He's
athlete.
amazing.
We gotta check you sometimes.
As good as he is, he can't beat the Madden curse. If he beats that,
You don't have a
I'll
choice at that
respect
point,
him
right? You done beat everything.
Yeah.
Oh man, Madden. Remember Madden? Used to leave school like
Yeah.
oh
We used to
Everybody
go
be
buy that
packed up
thing
in
at midnight,
EV.
yeah.
Yeah. I remember the one year.
The
one
boutique.
year, like the plane got delayed, and we were all up in there pissed. Like, where the hell's my Madden at? Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'll fight you for that, man.
It did get hostile.
That's,
People were really upset.
yeah, right. Seriously.
Like they
Trash.
were good.
Get home at like quarter
Finish
to
the
1.
season
Stay up
already.
until 5.
I never
one
got
night.
into Madden like that, but I know Rich remembers Gears of War at Ox.
Oh yeah.
Like just sit down for 5 hours, drink a whole bunch of beer, and
Oh yeah, Horde mode. That was
Horde mode
Gears
we
of
were
War
doing that
2.
one night?
Yeah, that was
That
Gears
was like
2.
2 days.
That was
I still
awesome.
play Gears 4.
You get lost in that stuff, man.
Yeah, I
didn't
play
even know there
Gears
was a
4
Gears
with
4. I
Ock.
haven't
Usually,
played
I
video games
need
in so
Derek
long.
play. Ock gets on.
Dude.
Try to get dump on there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yo, him and Dave, son. Him and Dave are dirty.
He's always been like that, man. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
I'm sure.
I've seen Johnny play that Call of Duty game
The nuke.
and get like I don't know what
25
the biggest bomb
kills.
he could get in.
25 kill streak.
I don't. Yeah, the nuke. I've seen him get those nukes.
No.
I've seen him get those nukes
No business.
when he had no business even like doing anything in life. And he used to look at me and be like, "You want the nuke? I'll
Easy.
get you the nuke. Hold on." And he would just do it.
Dude, he's
that
been
was
playing
insane.
those games since he was like 9, man.
I was
remember-
gonna say I can remember
Wow.
as a child going over and like we'd be doing something, playing in like his bedroom or something, and you turn around and Johnny would be on his computer, just like whatever state of the art
Sniping
computer he
people,
had.
He
dude.
still gets on
Yeah,
there on
just
Twitch.
fucking
So
somebody up in some
anybody
type
that
of
watches games, go to on Twitch, Johnny Dump. You catch him out there. He plays this H1Z1 game. I know he plays League of Legends too. So I know he awesome gamer. He
You
actually
will be impressed.
The, prof-
Yeah,
on his-
absolutely.
the,
he promotes us on
professional.
his page too. So
Yeah, he's
shout
got-
out
he's
to
been
Johnny
sponsored,
Dump
right?
on Twitch.
Yeah. Very easily could trade one of us out and put
Yeah.
him in. We've all been friends that long, so.
Yo, Johnny would add a whole nother dynamic.
Oh yes, he would.
guest appearances.
Yeah, can we do that? I was about to say that. Can we do that, please?
Yeah, have him over so that he can hop on the mic.
All right. Yeah. Johnny needs to be on this.
All right, so I'm gonna talk about something
Record,
y'all ain't
bring us
gonna have
home here,
anything
buddy.
to
Wrap
say
it up.
about, but I know y'all not gonna watch it. But
Yo,
I
don't
know
just
you ain't gonna
judge
watch
me.
it, but if I spoil it for you, you'll be happy. But I watched the Defenders came out Friday. I know Kyle said he's definitely not watching, but I watched the whole series on Friday and Saturday, so I finished the 8 episodes. I would, if you watched any of the Netflix series, I would definitely check it out. It's a nice get together of the crew. They all end up battling the Hand, which is the ancient immortal ninja group. That's like the big bads in those shows. So a lot of cool fights. You see the Defenders fighting. There's a pretty cool battle. Between two of the people in the group. I won't really spoil anything because I know it just came out Friday, and most people probably aren't too far into it where I finished it. But there's definitely some cool fight scenes in it. Cool dynamic between the characters. I would recommend it. It ties everything together nicely, and leaves you in a spot where it's going to be interesting to see what they do with the individual stories going forward. So definitely worth the 8 episodes there. It does start kind of slow because it sort of introduces and establishes where everybody's at since their last series ended. But once it gets into that action, it's pedal to the metal, time to fight and throw hands. So it was a good watch. I'd definitely recommend it.
All right, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Follow us at The Fellas Podcast. If you have anything you want to hear us talk about, go ahead and tweet it at us. Send us some questions, some topics. We are always more than willing to at least look at what you want us to talk about. But for this one,
I'll squeeze
We're
it
out.
in.